This episode is brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration, a proud supporter of the Inside Running podcast. It keeps us fueled on our long runs and races. Are you training for your next big race and still guessing your nutrition? Inside Running Podcast listeners, 2026, this is the year you stop winging it. Precision Fuel and Hydration is the answer. Their free online planner helps you nail your sodium and carb intake so you don't fade when it matters most. Visit precisionhydration.com, and while you're there, place your first order and get 15% off when you use the code IRP2026. Welcome to episode number 447 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. Big show. Croaks has been working hard on this agenda. The second Diamond League happened in China. Some hot results over there from some Australians. We got the LA Track Fest that happened. We have the Noosa Marathon to talk about and the Cape Town Marathon and a couple of indoor meets. Plus Jimmy Whelan was in action on the roads. Some whispers here, Moose on the loose, listener question. And we'll preview some stuff that's coming up this coming weekend. Welcome to my co-host. He's up in Canberra, Bradley Croker. How are you this week?
Good, thanks, Brady. Yeah, a bit happened in the world of running over the last week, and we're in that period now where I guess Commonwealth Games selection. I think the period ends like end of May, and so people are trying to sort of get that qualifying time or move themselves up the rankings.
Yeah, big weekend. And my other co-host is a 2:14 marathoner, Julian Spence. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Just slugging away down here.
Slugging, working hard, hardly working.
I would say that I'm working harder than I've ever worked in my life.
Really?
Yeah. It's no joke with these kids. No joke at all. And one of them is sick. And there's been some nights where I wouldn't have strung 2 hours in a row together. It just sort of accumulated. It nailed me. And now I'm getting a bit sick. And yeah, it's been hard work.
Still enough time to get a surf in though, Moose. I saw on Strava.
Mate, I got a surf in. So I did that. That was a mental health move, that surf, because running for me ain't that fun right now, where I'm finishing thinking, oh, that was great, a great mind clear. So I went to the ocean because it's truly the blue doctor for me. So that's like a call to the therapist, going out for a surf. And that's pretty much the only reason I did it. I'm glad I did it because it does work every single time. Sort of clears the head a little bit. And you do a lot of thinking out there in the ocean. Thinking about all sorts of things, and you spend a lot of time just like, it's just in nature. It's kind of like maybe someone who goes for a trail run or a bushwalk, but I like to get in the ocean.
How's that go with the knee? How's that go with the knee though, Moose? In terms of like, getting up, a bit of twisting and turning and...
The knee is fine until I go into like full flexion. And so I've got these memories of being able to do things on a surfboard that that I can't do anymore. So at one point, like I got a bit carried away and I see this end section of the wave. I'm like, all right, I remember what I used to do here. And then I tried to do it, and then my knee just like bends on itself like it normally would, like just full flexion. And I thought, oh, that hurts. Don't try that again.
You could picture it though, couldn't you, Brady? He like wipes out and then he goes back out to the lineup and he's trying to like justify how good he used to be to like these young grommets.
Yeah. I've been here with skateboarding, same thing. Like you get, Hudson skateboarding down at the skate park and like, oh yeah, I used to be able to do a kickflip. Next minute, nearly break your arm and ankle and like, it's amazing how you just lose it too.
It's humbling. It's
good
such a humbling. Yeah.
I'm big on the, I was just going to cut in before there, like big on the like, hey, give me 30 minutes and then I'm going to be fine for the next 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like just that escape and parents know what we're talking about. It's just that break the routine for a minute. Just give me 30 minutes to get my stuff together, and then I'm good.
Yeah, and like we try and do that. Bree especially, she can get a bit caught out. So like we've got to make sure that she gets out for her time as well. But yeah, it was good. Like it was, and when you're in those sort of funks, it's actually really hard to get out. Like getting out's the hardest part, and then once you're out, it's great. But getting out, it's like you really need to take the first step to get out the house. Because I could see how someone who's been out of exercise a while and is in like a bit of a dark place. It's all everyone will say to you, "Oh yeah, you've got to exercise; it's good for you." But there's it's a difficult thing to do when sitting at home on the couch or like trying to escape everything is the easy way out or is the easy option at that point. So
or scrolling on your phone.
Oh,
you're like, why am I scrolling? Like, go, get out the door, go. Like, you don't need to check this shit.
Absolute worst thing for the community, for the society is that fucking phone. Absolute worst thing. The amount, like I was saying to Bree, I'm like, where are all these people? How do they create so much useless content? And like, why are they doing it? Like, I got someone, I don't understand. And I'm here in like engaging with it. I'm here watching reels and like and I'm in my head, I'm like, why would you make this? And then here I am looking at it. It's a bizarre cycle of like looking at shit that triggers you.
And then you have shame because you're looking at it and you're wasting your time on it. It's like, it got me real good.
Yeah, it's an addiction, it's proper addiction. But it's not like, and no addiction. You'd say no addictions are good for you, would you? But there's going to be some that are a little better for your health than others. And that they're like addicted to running's pretty good, I guess. Addicted to surfing's pretty good.
To an extent.
Yeah. Addicted to the gym. But then addicted to your phone or like TV or screens or drugs, not good.
Anyway, tell us about a training week, Moose. Give us a Monday through to Sunday.
Yeah. So it wasn't a great week for me. I had a couple of things pop up. Monday was fine. Went out for a jog. I actually recovered fine from the longer run. So I just went out for half an hour, kept it easy. And I think we recorded that night. Croaks, we talked about your Achilles, your little Achilles niggle. And then the next day I went for a 55-minute run just from work. I went north along the Geelong sort of waterfront. It's a real industrial area out past sort of where I went to. And then on the way back, I was just got this, I feel like it was the shoes I was wearing. I had that Adidas Hyperboost Edge on, and I haven't got on that well with the upper in that shoe. I really like the underfoot feel, but the upper, especially like at the back near the Achilles, is sort of rubbed my Achilles a fair bit. And on the way back, I started to feel it. So yeah, I was like, a bit unsure about that. Next morning, I woke up and did some isometric exercises for it, and then met Ali. I did 15-minute warm up, and then got into the session because I had to be home. I think I had a meeting or something, but I had to be home. And no, I had to drop off I think I had a kinder drop off. So I got started on this session earlier. So it was 6-minute, like sub-thresh reps. So I ran a repeat out. She did a longer warm-up, did some strides and drills and all that. And then on my way back towards the car on the second rep, she joined me and I jumped in with her. She was going... She's so insecure. Like I turn a bit earlier, and I'm expect her to catch up to me. And I don't know what was going on, but she didn't really catch up to me straight away. And so she starts going, "Oh, you're too fast for me. You're too fast. Like go off, do your own session." I'm like, what? She did it because she was kind of upset that I was in front of her and that she wasn't able to drop me immediately. It's a little bit pathetic, really. But then the next rep, I was obviously not going that well. So we did the next rep together, basically. Maybe like the last 30 seconds, I think I dropped off. And then after that, I just stayed at my heart rate and let her do her thing. And she was just a bit faster than me each rep, maybe like 5 seconds a K or so. But real nice to be back doing a session. The Achilles felt fairly, pretty much fine on this. I did have a sharp knee pain, which was really frustrating. And so I had the next day off, and then jogged the day after, just 37 minutes. I started to do some rehab on the Achilles, like isometrics, and just taking it real easy, wearing some heel.
Is it insertional or mid portion?
I'm gonna say it's mid portion.
Yeah, so it's not right on you, like right on the base of the heel.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Nah, it's. I'm not that worried about it because I don't really feel. I feel it when I first wake up, then it disappears on me. Like through the day, I don't really notice it. I can do some really heavy calf raises on it too, which I've done. Or no, when I say really heavy, I can do some calf raises on it, and it doesn't. I don't notice it during that, and I do some isometrics and don't notice it. So yeah, I'm okay with it. But the knee's probably the knee was the worrying thing. I jogged an hour down on Sunday morning, and the knee didn't pull up great. So I'm noticing wastage in my quads, even though I'm doing gym multiple times a week. So I'm either not doing the gym correctly, or I'm favoring it so much that it just gets no load throughout the day. Like I'm just doing everything with my right leg, and so yeah, it just sits there kind of dormant. So I'm going to meet with Ali, and she's going to actually look at my physio program properly and instruct me better on how to do the exercises that she's given me, because I think that's actually really important. You can give exercises to someone, but if you're not doing them right, they might not even target the area that you're trying to get stronger. And there's multiple ways to do different exercises.
And the body is good at finding a workaround and a shortcut.
Absolutely. That's what I think's happening. Like I can do a squat or a one leg squat or whatever, and it just doesn't feel like it should. It feels like I'm getting it done, but not properly. So yeah, that's the next step. I've made an appointment with the surgeon, but the first appointment I could get is not till late August. So I've got physio until that point. So I'll try to get this knee as strong as I can. Got to add a piece of equipment to the gym. That's one thing that I need. I need a leg press machine. Like, you guys ever use leg press?
No, I've seen them at the gym.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, it's good. You can load your quads and your glutes without as much lower back load.
That's where you lay on your back and you push it up, bring it back down.
Yeah,
can't you just get a gym membership? Do you really need to buy one for your house?
There's no way I can get time to go to a gym.
Okay.
The gym, I mean, I could do it at the mercy of work if I left the house and went to the gym instead of going to work. But I'm in my gym every night after dinner.
Yeah. Is there a gym in Anglesea?
There's a footy club gym.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all old shit that's been donated. Yeah, so RACV gym's good where I've been in the past. There's a gym near work that Toby goes to or used to go to. That's pretty good too. There's heaps of gyms in Torquay, but that's 15 minutes drive away.
Yeah. You don't want that.
No, I can walk down into my gym now, and like I do every night, and I can do a session, and that's the only way I can go to the gym.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. How many Ks was it?
I don't even know. It wasn't many. Maybe like 45, maybe 40.
So you're not going to run Sydney, are you? Like you're talking about these same dates for the surgeon is like the Sydney Marathon weekend.
Yeah, I mean the week before this was fine. I was great. It was 55K. I didn't actually. It was I ran 54K this last week, and I did notice my knee, which is annoying because the week before I didn't notice my knee. So yeah, I'm not gonna. I probably won't do Sydney. No.
Come around quick, Sydney. It's like 12 weeks away, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Now is it in August?
Yeah, last weekend in August.
Actually, it's right. It's like 2 days before that is when I see the surgeon. So
yeah,
I think it's on the Friday.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, ease off for 2 weeks leading into it with a bit of a taper, and you've got 10 weeks to do a marathon prep.
Well, I'm never going to do a marathon prep because I can't even run properly.
You still want to do some kind of prep though.
Well,
don't you?
Just doing the maximum amount of running I can do between now and that event would be the goal. I certainly don't need to do a prep. Like I just can't. I mean, it is a prep doing that, but it's not like what you're considering a prep.
I wouldn't bother with Sydney Marathon, Moose. There's like nothing to be gained at all.
Yeah, the only way I would have done it is if things just went really nicely leading up, and I did a couple of 30K runs, and then I went out there and got around the course.
The problem with
run with
the
Jimmy.
problem with targeting it is you've got like a deadline, and then you start making decisions based on that deadline as opposed to the smart decision of where's my body at the moment.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to be making decisions based on a deadline.
Yeah. The body's not in a position to get fit. It just isn't. Like the body needs to be comfortable to raise kilometers, and it's not there right now.
NordVPN has partnered with the Inside Running podcast to offer you an amazing discount. Head over to nordvpn.com/inside running to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan, plus 4 additional months on top of that. Think of NordVPN as your personal bodyguard for your online activity. It encrypts your internet traffic, shielding your personal information from those prying eyes and online criminals with state-of-the-art encryption. It can help you book flights and hotels for your next race, as well as when you're over there, you can connect to a NordVPN server in your home country and safely enjoy the content as if you never left. Wherever you travel, it's perfect if you want to follow local Aussie sport. With NordVPN, you can access all your streaming services from back home. Don't forget, there is literally no risk with your 30-day money-back guarantee. Give it a try, and if you like it, great. If you don't, they'll issue a full refund, and you can pretend the entire situation never even happened. Check out our link, nordvpn.com/inside running, to get your subscription started today. You can also find the information in the episode description and the link in our social media bio. All right, Croaks, what have you been doing?
I had a pretty uneventful week, to be honest. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I did the same pretty much loop, just pretty much an out and back into Mulligan. So they were like a sort of an hour at 4:22s, hour at 4:17s, hour at 4:20s. I went to the gym Wednesday afternoon. So I've been going pretty much every week. I've been going at least once a week to the gym. I'm going to try and go twice a week just to get on top of this Achilles. Like it's certainly not getting any worse, but it's just frustrating knowing that for months I had absolutely like nothing really wrong with my body at all. And I'm probably a little bit, I'm probably overreacting a little bit, like I'm getting out of bed and it's a 1 out of 10. I do like an isometric hold and I don't feel it. Like I go out for a run and there might be in an hour, there might be 3 or 4 minutes where I feel like 1 out of 10. So I certainly don't need to be like really panicking. So had a little bit of DOMS just in my quads, but I pulled up reasonably well. It was more, I just felt flat throughout the week. I think just like I sort of place a lot of, I guess, pressure on myself when I race. So emotionally, it takes a lot out of me when I race. So I just, was a bit of a reset week. Lily was also like homesick like most of the week. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'm just, I didn't feel sick, but maybe I'm just a little bit run down. So my original plan, had everything gone well, I was probably going to get back into sessions on the Thursday and do Thursday, Saturday, but I'm like, I'm not going to bother with session on Thursday. So I just did another hour, 4:22s, listened to Road to Somewhere, and then decided that on Friday I would get back into sessions, sort of test out the Achilles. So I did 6 by 6 minutes off 1 minute rest, 2 reps at 18k an hour, 2 reps at 18.3k an hour, 2 reps at 18.5. Tested the lactate like every second rep. So it was like 1.6, 2.0 and 3.0. Achilles was like, really didn't notice it. Maybe in the last 3 minutes of the last rep, it was like a 1 out of 10. So got out that afternoon for another 8K, 420s. Saturday morning, did an hour after Collis's soccer at 420s, and then just did a lap of Yerriby Pond that afternoon. Actually wore the Vomero premiums for the first time in ages, which I was still just not sure whether I enjoy it or not. It was certainly like I didn't have any sensation in my Achilles at all wearing that. So that was, just a 7.5K at 422s, and then I did 2 hours with the boys, on Sunday at 419s. My Achilles in the last probably 15, 20 minutes of this was sort of back to that, 1 or 2 out of 10. So I'm just going to make a few modifications. Remember old Tin Man Schwartz? He had that saying of like, just keep the ball rolling. And that's essentially what I want to do. Like, I feel like I've built up such a good base and been really consistent. I don't want to just drop everything. And because I feel like the Achilles is really manageable, I just need to make sensible decisions. And I think I can still train fairly well. So for example, rather than doing it, like I would have done a double run today. So rather than doing a double run, I jumped on the bike for an hour this morning, and then I went out for a run this afternoon. And depending on how it felt, like I was willing to do 30 minutes, I was willing to do 45 or an hour, depending on how it felt. So I got through an hour today. This week, I'm probably just going to do all my sessions on the treadmill just because it's safer. And the good thing about the way that I train now is the intensity of most of my sessions is unlikely to really flare up the Achilles too much. Like I'll do some 10-minute reps tomorrow, somewhere in that 320 to 330 per kilometer range, which isn't going to stress the Achilles too much. But I think there's going to be a little bit more bike riding this week. Because had my body been 100%, I probably would have went back to 150, 160K weeks. Whereas now I think I can still get away with a couple of controlled sessions, but do a few more hours on the bike, and I might run more like 120K. Because last week I still got through 133K I ran last week. So it's still like a decent week, and my Achilles is certainly not getting any worse. It's just a matter of now being a bit more diligent with my isometric holds, which I've been doing a couple of times a day, and getting into the gym and doing some heavier calf raises just to try and get it back to how it was. Because I did have this last year, and it was way worse than it is right now. And even at its worst point, I think I had to skip sessions for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then I was able to basically ramp things back up and haven't had an issue since. So just trying to make sensible decisions, but still keeping the ball rolling.
Yeah, like you can't have full rest for that anyway, can you?
Well, no. And look, I ran for an hour this afternoon, and I finished the run and I couldn't feel it. So it can't be that bad if you can run for an hour and not really feel it.
It got me a bit worried though, Moose. Like this 1 out of 10 talk, I reckon I'm 1 out of 10 year round. But then he's talking like it's 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. The way he's worried about it.
Well, it's more because my body has been so good for months, and then something like this happens, and then you start thinking worst case scenario, like, oh man, I'm back in the injury cycle again. But what I did last time was I just plowed through. So if the session was fast 800s on the track, I still just went and did it. And it took my Achilles from being where it is now over the course of 2 or 3 weeks to being to the point that I had to completely stop sessions for a month. Whereas I think I can still do sessions, but limit the intensity and focus on the rehab and add a bit more bike in.
Yeah, you won't lose in fitness with a week like that. That's for sure.
No.
But you could destroy everything, like you said, by pushing through.
by ripping some 30-second 200s at the end of your workouts. Just only go 72-second laps if you're ever on the track for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's the key.
That would be a good rule for a 46-year-old Australian record holder. Pending ratification. Still pending.
What have you been up to?
I say that. Have you finished, Croaks? Have you done your week?
I'm done, yep.
Oh, yeah. How many Ks was it? 120?
133.
Oh, yeah. That's a
good week for an injured bloke. Shit.
Good week. Couple of hours on the bike as well. Couple of sessions in the gym.
No bike
last started week. Today.
Yeah, first bike in like 6 or 7 weeks.
Jeez, I've won the mileage for the week then, Moose. Look at this. I'm back. Got Croaks in my sights.
You only have to beat one person.
I know.
Look at his Strava bars. It's like a full-on U. It's like it's ramped up real quick.
Paddy Stone not writing these ones.
That's what happens after you run a marathon, isn't it? You go down into it and then you come out of it. It should be a U.
Yeah,
if you got any other letter of the alphabet other than a U, you're doing it incorrectly.
You've built up pretty quick.
It's like a half pipe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back another skateboard reference. Yeah, but you got to remember, I went into Boston with I was building momentum. It wasn't like I did a huge block and I needed a month easy. So Monday, boys, I'll pep things up a bit here. Monday, got a daily double. Haven't had one of these for years. I was so proud of it as well. People who don't know what a daily double is, it's when you do a double run for the day. You don't look at pace, so you only run on time. So I did 65 minutes in the morning, got home, saved my run, 4:36 pace. Then I did 30 minutes in the afternoon. I worked at school on Monday, actually. So 30 minutes after school, saved my watch, 4:36. Exactly the same pace in the morning and the night. So, rare. Haven't seen one of those for years, as I said. So that was a good way to kick things off on a Monday. Tuesday, double workout day. So we started with 3 by 10 minutes off 90 seconds in the morning. Tried to slow these down a bit after our conversation last week. Averaged around 3:28 pace. And then in the afternoon, I did 18 by 75 seconds off 30 seconds. So this would be 400 meter reps if I had a track. So I'm just setting it in my watch. I run for 75 seconds, averaged like 3:12 pace for these. I never know how accurate it is. I always try to do like the rep in a straight line. So it's just no bends, straight road, run until it beeps. Quite an enjoyable workout. Like that pace for 75 seconds is pretty easy to hit. And yeah, it's probably not till the last 5 that you're like, oh, this 30 seconds is going pretty quick in this recovery. So yeah, enjoyed that one. I do these off like really short warm-ups and cool downs as well, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes for the cool downs, just to kind of get them done. Otherwise they're going to be like 35, 40K days. So yeah, I'll probably look to extend the workouts more than I do the warm-ups.
That's probably the most appealing thing, I reckon, of double threshold days is you basically doing 10-minute warm-up, 10-minute cool downs.
I still think I'm doing them too hard if I wanted to be doing this twice a week. So I'm kind of doing it due to like my work at the moment, where Tuesday I can get a lot of work done on Tuesdays, so then it kind of takes the pressure off the rest of the week. I don't think I could then back this up and do it again on a Thursday or Friday. But I don't think there's many people in the world who could do that unless you're a full-time athlete, maybe. Like it's a lot of running in one day. Maybe it's a change in mentality as well. Like feels weird going out to do another workout in a day. Doesn't matter how slow you do that morning one.
But you also need to progress it in that, like, just doing one double threshold day is a new stimulus for you. So to go and add like a second one when your body hasn't even adjusted to one day of it would be silly. But if you were to do this for 6 months, then you might say, oh, I'm actually handling that double day really easily now. I could probably do another one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wednesday I took it pretty easy, 45 in the morning, 35 minutes in the afternoon. Thursday, have you guys got like loops that you do on certain days of the week? Like I've got my Thursday morning loop.
Yeah.
Before school, it's going to be dark. I know where's well lit. I can get this done.
In Ballarat, it was called Monday loop, Wednesday loop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Pretty creative down there, aren't they?
Well, I've copied it. I've got Thursday loop. I've got Thursday and Saturday loop in my week. So yeah, Thursday loop, 70 minutes, 4:32s, and then 7K after school in the afternoon. And then Friday is just this half-assed, quick kind of fartlek, bang for your buck. What can you do in 20, 25 minutes? I did 5 by 2 minutes, 1 minute, with a minute jog between. The 2 minutes I was at like 3:10 pace, the 1 minutes were like 3:05 pace. How bad is it trying to run fast when it's foggy and cold? That's ugly running. Just like it feels like
that's nice conditions.
Oh no, I don't mind the cold, but the fog, like it feels like you're just running through thickness. Like it's a real weird feeling trying to get going. So that was just tick the box, do something before work, and then 35 minutes after school. Saturday, 75 minutes, 4:32s. Then I went down to Melbourne, boys, via Bendigo. Took both the children to Bendigo, dropped Olivia off with my mum, Hudson, and my dad and my brother. We went to the MCG, Croak. She would have been all over this. Did news get up there in Canberra? One of the greatest moments in probably Australian sporting history. Moose would be all about it. Scott Pendlebury broke the all-time AFL games record, Moose.
So much carry on.
Wasn't it? It was big, wasn't it?
You know
big
what?
News. 90,000 people went and watched the game at the MCG.
It's
so
crazy.
I said, like, as a parent, I'll just keep going for a few more seconds. As a parent, it's probably your responsibility to take your kids to significant sporting moments. Like, I'm disappointed my parents didn't take me to Kathy Freeman, 2000, winning that gold medal. So I thought this is a way I can, take Hudson to maybe a moment that he'll be able to say for the rest of his life that he was there in the flesh to see.
I like Scott Pendlebury. I like him as a player, but
good player.
Jeez,
bit of carry on.
It was
so much carry on. It's like too much.
But it's the media that carries on as well. They've been carrying on for weeks leading into it.
Yeah, it's more than a person, this game, but they made it all about the person.
One of the clubs should have registered Bomber Harvey and just given him a run for the weekend.
Well, his name's Boomer Harvey for starters, not Bomber Harvey, but yeah, show that you live in a different state. But that's a good gag from you. I did hear that from Mick Malloy. Did you see he did that gag?
That's where I saw it. I reckon that would be so funny.
You can't go stealing people's jokes, Croaks.
Anyone that hates Collingwood, one of the clubs that really hate Collingwood, just sign him up for the week. Should have come and play 10 minutes.
Yeah, the thing is, Pendlebury's probably going to play another 50 games.
Yeah,
so
and that's the problem. Anyway. Then there'll be the carry on this week.
They'll settle down now. So that was good. Late night though. Actually, it wasn't that late. We got back to Bendigo about 10:30, and then I was in Bendigo, of course. So I did the long run with the boys. The Bendigo group. Every time I go down there, there's more people. Good culture, big pack, good chat. How good is the feeling that you just get out of your car and you're like, beautiful, long run's done for the day. That's how I feel when I do the long run in Bendigo, because I'm like, I just got to talk shit for the next 2 hours. I don't even have to run.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm pretty good at talking shit.
Yeah, film crew there too?
No film. Whenever I'm there, there's no like celebrities or film crews or nothing. They must know when I'm coming.
They just hang out in like the kitchen and the bedroom and the lounge room.
Yeah, Andy was in good form. He's fit. He just destroyed us up every single hill. Like, it was like he didn't slow his pace for any of the hills, and he would just skip away from the whole pack.
Do you try to keep up with him?
Nah. I was back with the other guys and girls.
Yeah. You got someone have a crack early?
Nah. I don't know if you can. Like, I don't know what. I feel like we were keeping it pretty honest up the hills. I haven't checked what my gap is. Like, we got 500 meters worth of climbing, but he just, his next, I know he's been doing the AV stuff, but watch out for him in the next 3 to 6 months.
Does he just stop and wait at the top?
Yeah, that's the thing where he kind of runs up a bit and then he jogs back a bit, and yeah.
That's a nice little flex. Does he say, "Oh, good work, mate, Brady, good work getting up that hill"?
No, he's not dishing out encouragement for making it to the top of the hill.
Patronise you.
But I was all right. We averaged 4:19s too, which is solid on that loop. So it was good. Good fun down there. 154K for the week. Good week to tick off.
Would you say that's that was a hard effort? 4:19s on that?
I don't know. I am getting my heart rate monitor posted to me, the one that was in my backpack at Ballarat, just so I'm starting to get some data. But no, I don't think I'd describe it as hard. I was pleasantly surprised at the end. Like, I finished with Sean. We both did 2 hours. That was Sean White, who ran with Ali at Ballarat. They ran together pretty much most of the way. And, we kind of saved our watches and I was like, 4:19s. Like I didn't expect that. But, yeah, you get some nice downhill on that loop as well. You'll have to go do it one day. Even you, Croaks, come down.
Croaks would alpha the fuck out of him down there. Could you imagine Croaks rocking up? He's built for that Sunday morning.
I've changed, Moose. I've changed. The Sunday long runs
guy now.
The Sunday long runs now are just gentle. I averaged 130 heart rate.
Yeah, imagine how happy your bloody training partners are with that. They're actually training at the level they should be at now. Not just you just dictating, we're going fast today, hang on.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it myself.
Jeez, who would have thought? Who would have thought that?
How many times have we told him this as well? Like only for 8 years.
How long have we been going? 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years.
That being said, if I was focusing on the marathon, I still think I would have the odd quicker long run in there because I still think it does build a little bit of physical and mental resilience where, you're having to work a bit hard in that 2 hours to 2.5. But because I've got no marathon in sight, I'm like, well, I don't need to be running these fast or hard or going 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I think the sweet spot is start easy, start real easy. If it's flowing, if it's feeling good, maybe like you're allowed to a little bit of a leash later on. Like let the leash go a little bit. But if it's not feeling good, you haven't like created this first 5K precedent where you're looking down seeing 4:10s going, oh, well, what am I going to do now? Run 4:40s. It ain't going to happen. You get yourself in a trap by doing that. And the whole group starts rolling then. Yeah. And there's no, like, how often have you been with a group that gets rolling that pulls it back? It doesn't happen.
The cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
That's exactly. So you got to start easy with a group like that. And then you can decide early on, half an hour in, which way this run's going to go today.
But Andy would disagree with you, Croaks. Andy, other than him like skipping away from us on the hills, he never puts a foot down on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like that would be, he would have said, yes, that we've had a quick day today, averaging 4:19s.
But doesn't he do two?
He does Friday big workouts, yeah.
Friday big workout, yeah. Well, there you go. Like that.
He did 2.5 hours yesterday too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know how big his workouts are yet on Fridays, but when he's in a marathon block, he'd do 2.5 hours time on feet and then a Tuesday workout, Friday workout. Yeah. And as much jogging as he can probably handle in between.
That's
maybe
the
even
risk.
Like 2 hour midweek. Yeah.
The risk is if you're doing a big Friday into a solid Sunday, that's tough work.
Yeah. Which is probably why he keeps it easy.
Yeah.
Or relatively easy for him.
So he works out Tuesday, Friday?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, again, hard Sunday into Tuesday workout. That's tough. So
yeah.
Yep.
Let's thank some Patreon supporters, boys. Who you got, Croaks?
I've got Stephen Jackson from Durham in the UK and runs for Sunderland Harriers and Athletics Club. According to his Power of 10 profile, he's run 14:57 at the 2024 Mid-Cheshire 5K, 31:17 at the 2021 Sunderland City 10K, 68:29 at the 2024 Great North Run Half Marathon, and 2:26:37 at the 2021 Cheshire Elite Marathon. I believe he's also run London, Berlin, Boston, New York, and Chicago. So he's ticked off quite a few of the majors there.
His way. Do you reckon that was a COVID marathon? The Cheshire Elite Marathon?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
That was the one that Jake Smith paced and then ran 2:11 or something, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And the kid from New Zealand, was it Callum Moody?
Oh, I haven't heard that name for a while.
Didn't Callum Moody win it or come second behind Jake Smith? Like, was Jake Smith pacing him?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think so.
Don't remember.
Sunderland Till I Die. Have you watched that documentary on Netflix about the soccer?
No.
It's pretty good. Pretty good doco. Thank you. He's got some good PBs. When you were reading them out, I was trying to figure out which is the best one. You going with the 5K?
5K.
14:57?
Yeah, 5K for me, for sure.
Yeah.
No?
I'm just thinking about Croaks' fitness at the moment. Which one of those couldn't he do?
He could do all of them.
He can do the 31.78. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, maybe the 5K. That's the only one he couldn't do. Didn't you run like 15.10?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be able to do the rest. Who are you thinking, Moose?
I'm thinking Lachlan Connors. Lachlan lives in Brisbane, and according to Strava, he's run 8:48 for 3K. Oh, hold on a second here. 8:48 for 3K, 15:40 at the 2024 Collingwood Classic, and 33:25 at the 2023 Gold Coast 10. Does a bit on Zwift. Zwift running, Croaks, is that what you mean?
No, Zwift cycling.
Zwift cycling. But it's been very quiet on Strava over the last year. Well, that's a real standout 3K time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got some fast twitched fibres, Lachlan.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Kind of need a backstory, I reckon. Chuck a comment on Patreon, Lachlan, because explain why your 3K is so much faster than the rest of your PBs, which are good.
Yep. Thank you, Lachlan, for your support. I'm going to thank Michael Clark from Wangaratta. We were talking about Wangaratta a few weeks ago, weren't we? Didn't you stop over there, Moose?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I ran a bit on the bike
That's
pass,
right.
which was the marathon course, I think. Yeah,
we're talking about that. Beautiful part of the world, Wangaratta. Strava's locked down, but we found a few results. Hopefully they are his. 37.06 at the 2024 Lakeside 10K and 80.45 at last year's Ballarat Half Marathon. Hopefully they're yours, Michael. Thank you for your support also. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters. If you like what we do on the show, you can support us at patreon.com/Inside Running Podcast. Get all the episodes early, get the uncut version of the show, get the bonus content on a certain level, get your name and your PBs read out. This week, Croaks and I are on bonus content. We've got a question and answer mailbag episode, Croaks. Plenty of questions come in today. Did you start doing some homework?
Yeah, I had a look.
Oh, you're not going to pre-do your answers, are you?
Quite like these episodes. They're fun.
Well, I think you'd have to research some of them. You want to give respect to because once I just open them up, it's like, this is the first time I'm ever reading these questions. And you're like, oh, I probably should have thought about this a bit more. Especially the ones that are like training. Like someone will go, these are my PBs. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? You want to have a bit of thinking time. So yeah, thank you to all the people that submitted those. The UK monthly boys will get there. They're going back and forth, trying to lock in dates. People are going on holidays, schedules.
I would say it ain't that hard, but I have to deal with Nitta and Tom DeCano trying to lock in those two. It is that hard when you got two blokes like that.
You almost need like we've got on a Monday night. Like it's 7 o'clock, non-negotiable. Remember early days we used to be like, are we on this week? It's like, doesn't even get to that stage anymore. It's 7 o'clock on a Monday night. Don't plan anything else. And if you do, we'll get someone else on.
To be fair,
these monthly shows, it's a bit harder to pencil them in.
Yeah, Nitta's been good.
The routine's not there.
Nitta's been good. Tom DeCano's in Vanuatu on another holiday, so he was not going to do it. And then last week he booked a massage instead of recording with us. So that's how much. Okay. That's how he prioritises our show.
It was good to have Road to Somewhere back last week. They Are you going to take Nick Earl up on this challenge, Croaks? You and him head to head at Albert Park 10K?
We're in different age categories.
Oh, you're both over 40.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between 40 and 45.
I'd say you should smash him, to be honest. What do you run at Ballarat? 226? 225?
Something like that. Know, 220. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I reckon you've got him.
You are a lot fitter than him, and you're a better athlete. Well, he may have run 2:14, but you're a better athlete.
Not according to our PBs. He's run faster than me, I think, in most distances.
No, isn't that stiff?
I reckon probably 1,500 and 3K. Probably they're the only ones I've got him covered.
You're taking the sport more seriously than he is at this stage of life, though.
Yeah.
You're a bit PBs smarter than him.
Different generation.
You got much better running IQ, that's for sure.
It'd be a great head-to-head. Like I'd be keen to watch it.
We'll see.
You wouldn't want to spend much time next to him out in the race.
I'm going to. He'll go out way harder than me, though. I won't. If I was to beat him, I wouldn't see him till late. I reckon.
Oh, I know those vibes at that race.
Bloke would sit on you, mate. Don't worry about
No,
that.
he wouldn't. He gets after it. He'd go through in like 15 minutes.
Not a chance would he go through in 15 minutes.
We'll see. We'll see. Running News brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Massive thanks to the team over there for supporting us on the podcast. Let me have a go at this Chinese name, guys. Xiamen, Diamond League. I think I nearly got it. 1,500 metres. Aren't we getting treated at the moment for women's 1,500 metres? Just like, you want another one? We're all rocking up again. And Abbey Caldwell got the win. I was watching this on my phone. Have you people? Are you guys aware of that? Like how they're streaming it on YouTube, but not from like the World Athletics account. It's from like some random account, and it's not illegal. Like it's you go to World Athletics and type in "How do I watch a Diamond League?" and it says this is the link. So very easy to access.
Watching it in bed on Saturday night. It was good. Like it wasn't. It was late. It was late, but not too late.
Yeah. If you were still up for something else, you could watch it. She knows how to win it. Like kick, finish, close races down. Amazing to see that she got the win. We don't have many Aussies ever win Diamond Leagues.
Like, you can.
Ollie Hoare. Did Ollie Hoare win one?
Yeah, I reckon he did.
Stewie's definitely won one.
Jess has definitely won Diamond League. Definitely.
Oh,
I remember that she was favourite to win one of them.
The final she got done really late, didn't she? The Diamond League final.
Yeah.
Was the 2K?
The point I'm trying to make, and it's very hard to win.
Was the 2K world record a Diamond League event when she won that?
Could have been. You just Google that, Croaks, while I get talking. So Abbey got the win, 3:57.26. Amazing kick around the final bend. And she said in her interview that she wasn't really paying attention to the ladies that she was trying to kick past, just more focusing on herself. And then, so good the way she closes this race down. Birke Haylom was second, 3:57.79, and Emily McKay, she's from the US, I reckon, third at 3:58.13. We did have 4 other Aussies in the race. Jess Hull was fifth in 3:58.97. Linden was 8th in 4 flat. Sarah Billings actually went with the pace early. So there was a bit of a breakaway pack, and there was only like 4 of them in there. And she went with it, and then they kind of pulled her in and then went past her. So she was 11th in 4:02. And Claudia Hollingsworth was 13th in 4:06. Sarah Billings' splits were 61.7, 63, 65. That's a split for the race.
Yeah, that was a split for the race.
Yeah. I did say, Abbey said in the interview afterwards that she's going to train now for a couple of weeks, and then Rome Diamond League is the next time we see her. In my opinion, she has to be on that 1,500 metre team. The only concern is it too hard to double an 8 and 15? Yeah.
So she'd have to just,
isn't she already picked in the 8?
Yeah. But surely, like, given she's just won a Diamond League, she should be given the choice to switch.
Well, the question is, has Sarah Billings shown anything to get ahead of Abbey, or has Linden Hall shown anything of late to get ahead of Abbey? Because that's essentially what we're comparing with. Because Jess Hull shouldn't get left off. And now I think Abbey Caldwell's come out, made enough of a statement in the last 2 races to not get let off either, as well as having championship history of winning medals. So I think this has been a brilliant way to determine the team, these 2 Diamond Leagues.
The auto from Claudia now looks interesting, though, considering she's coming 5th in 4:06. Like, bad day maybe, I don't know, but it's not great when we've got 5 people and the one that's coming in 5th is the auto qualifier.
The last race wasn't good for her either. But we don't really know, because it's such a guarded sport in terms of what we see. Like behind the curtain, maybe she's come off COVID, maybe she's got the flu, or like some sort of injury where she hasn't trained for a month before these races. Like we just don't know. It could be a full coaching cock up. Who knows? That's a problem with the sport. I feel is like no one if this was a footy team, we're sitting down going, what's going on with Nick Dacos? He's had 2 kicks the last 2 games. Like, what's going wrong with him? We need some answers. Like, someone from the footy club gets out and pretty much has to say if something's going wrong with him. There's an injury list.
Or there'd be a press conference on the Thursday where you got 10 journos peppering you with questions.
Yeah. It's anytime something in this sport is questioned, everyone just sort of gets very defensive and guarded and shuts up shop. And the person even asking the question gets looked at as like, oh, you're an evil,
you're a hater,
mean person. Yeah, you're a hater. That's
even when
one
you
thing I don't
comment
like
on someone's
about
training. You just be like, oh yeah, like I'm making these observations with these training, like this thing, da da da. I don't know if I agree with it. And then bam.
But as a commentator of the sport, like with Claudia, you go, she ran 3:58 at Box Hill, largely by herself in the back end of the race. Like, something's not right when you can do that, and then you go to a bigger stage and run 4:06 when you've got people around you that should be actually spurring you on.
When is
different
Com Games?
Country, real
August?
hot, real humid, traveling. You never know what's up.
Com Games August or September?
They're picking at the end of this week.
We should know when. But so this, I mean, perhaps like this is a coaching masterclass. Like, we're only in May. Do we want to be rerunning our best in May when the goal is September?
23rd of July to the 2nd of August is the Com Games period.
So, yeah, that's still 7 weeks away, 8 weeks away.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too concerned about Jess Hull yet. Like, she got room to move to get to her PB.
8 weeks.
I guess
you haven't even started your specific block yet. Like for a marathon, or well, maybe you have for a marathon.
I guess just getting back to the 1500 race, how it played out. Like the standout observations for me were, I was very shocked to see Sarah Billings as the Aussie. That basically she took Jess Hull's role. So last week, Jess was the one that was on the pacemaker, and it was Jess and a couple of others that gapped the rest of the field. This time it was Sarah and Haylom. And so I was really surprised by that move. Jess, it was good. She tried a different tactic. Like, she wasn't quite as aggressive. She sort of sat in and just sort of waited to see what the other runners were doing when they were making their moves. But you could tell that she was still tying up a lot in the straight, which just indicates that it sort of doesn't matter at the moment what tactics she's using. She's just not physically like where she needs to be, because, last week you're like, okay, well, maybe if you're not so aggressive, you win this race. But she wasn't as aggressive and still, wasn't right up there. Abbey, I knew Abbey was on for a good one when going down the back straight, she had enough awareness and was doing it easy enough that she could actually like look up to the big screen just to see what was happening like around her, which I think if you're in sort of the hurt locker down the back straight of a 1500, you're not thinking about looking up at the big screen to see what's happening. So, and also feel just on Abbey, and we sort of spoke about this off air, that she probably hasn't been given the credit that she deserves over the last few years. And the reason I'll say that is, like, she did win a Commonwealth Games medal, probably didn't like improve a lot after that. But you look at the other girls, and so obviously Jess gets a lot of credit for winning, medals at the Olympics, World Championships. Claudia has been running these like really quick times for like an under 20 World Junior medalist. So there's a lot of hype around Claudia. Linden, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of hype about, what about Linden's longevity? How like she's still running super quick, but she's been in the sport for so long. So I do feel like Claudia has been a little bit forgotten amongst that crew. But
you mean Abbey?
Abbey, yeah. But there's she won't be forgotten. Well, she's not flying under the radar anymore.
Well said, Croaks. The 5K was on. Was kind of expecting to see a whole lot of men break 13 minutes in this one, but it was 29 degrees and 81% humidity, and most of them ran really fast 3Kers the week before. So it only turned into, was it 3 under 13, I think? Yihune, he got the win in 12:57, which is a world lead this early in the season. Abdullahi was the guy who won the 3K the week before, the German national record holder now. He was second in 12:57.9, and Mahari was third in 12:58. Seth was in there in 14th in 13:18. Andreas Algren pulled out at 3K. The K splits were 2:33, 2:34, 2:38, 2:45, 2:28. It was going to be paced for 12:45. It looked hot. It looked hard. That's a good result. Like, good on Seth for not pulling out. Like, that's probably a 13:05 in better weather.
I agree.
So, I thought a brilliant run. Like, I feel like we've underrated that performance given how hot it was and how he was by himself from the maybe third, fourth lap in. Just so well. I mean, it must be hard knowing that you're on the global stage with TVs beamed to millions around the world, and in a big stadium like that with people watching, to be so far out the back and just have the nerve to hold on and sort of control yourself. I was very impressed by it.
As if Seth would ever DNF a race, though. I reckon if you made a list of people of like, hey, you need someone to like have a clean sheet of no DNFs for the next 3 years to run for your life, you put his name on there.
Yeah.
And he puts himself in positions where he should be pulling out sometimes when he races and he looks cooked with 2 laps to go, but he finds a way to get to the finish line.
What baffles me, though, is like we're talking about the best runs in the world here, and when they're having their meetings in the day leading up to the race with, okay, what pace is the pacer going to go? What pace are the lights going to be set at? Surely these people have been around the sport long enough to know that, okay, it's forecast to be 30 degrees and 80% humidity. I don't think 12:45 is doable in these conditions. Why don't we actually pace it for something that's realistic? Like, it's bizarre. Like we talk
want fast times, like this meat's going, no, we're paid for you guys to be here. This is what we want. Yeah, it's like when Sarway had to go out at world record pace at Berlin last year when it was 25 degrees. That was in his contract.
Is it pretty wild they still ran 12:57 in those conditions? I always saw the end result and I was like, hold on, I thought like commentators are saying how they've messed this up and it's so slow, it's pedestrian. They're in 12:57.
Yeah, 2:28 last K.
Yeah, in 30 degrees heat and humidity. Like, that's wild.
There was also a 3K there. Chematai got the win, 8:51.06. Yavi was second. She ran 8:51.54. And Faith Cheritich was third in 8:52. We had Cara Feain-Ryan there in 12th in 9:29. World record pace early, so no adjustments were made, Croaks. They do get to cool down in the water once a lap. And so I didn't watch this race, but the notes say Dutch girl who was pacing struggled to get to the front. She couldn't do her job, Croaks.
No, so this poor girl, she's got like tape running up from Achilles up a calf. So she's obviously got some sort of niggle. The lights are set at world record pace. The top girls don't care about the lights. They're in front of the lights. Yet this poor pacemaker from the Netherlands is trying to do her best to get to the front. She goes over the first water hurdle, lands in it with 2 feet, and then just goes, yeah, I'm done. That was, quite entertaining.
You reckon they brought her over from Europe for it, just for the pacing?
I don't know, but like that was a massive stitch up because she could have run at the lights, but they were already in front and she was just trying to get in front of them. And it was just funny to watch.
That was round 2 of the Diamond League. Where you taking me, Croaks, for some news?
Yeah, Los Angeles for a track fest over there. So there's a few Aussies in action. So in the women's 5K, Parker Valby made a return to racing. She hasn't really done much since the Olympics. She got the win in 14:49. I think that was a PB for her, actually. Lauren Ryan was second in 14:53, and Maudie Skyring was sixth in 15:03. So good result there for Lauren, and a solid improvement for Maudie from her China Diamond League. In the men's, we had a couple Aussies here. It was won by Habtom Samuel in 12:57.22. So this was a little bit quicker than the Diamond League. So this is now the world lead. Gulveer Singh was second in 13:03. Jackson Sharp was third, 13:05. So big PB there for Jackson. Morgan McDonald was seventh in 13:11. Any comments, boys, on the 5K? Moose?
Huge from Jackson Sharp. Like 13.5. We're getting into some rare air up there. That's big. I mean, was it 30? Is it 13 flat, the Com Games qualifier?
I think it's 13:01.
13:01, yeah. So it's still not quite there for that one. But are they still going to be picking teams even if you don't have? Is there like a B qualifier or something?
So this is where it gets tricky with Com Games because there's a quota for the actual athletics team. So this is where they're going to have to weigh up is, let's say, is the first ranked 5,000 meter runner from Australia better than the third pole vaulter for Australia? Because we can't send 2 or 3 in every event because we've only got a team of 60 or whatever the quota is. So they're actually going to have to compare across events to work out which athletes they're going to send.
So after that women's 1,500, does it get to a stage where we only send 2?
Well, I think because we are so highly ranked in the world in women's 1,500, you're likely to send a full team there. Yeah. Whereas obviously in the men's 5K, because we don't have many people under the standard, we may not send a full team for the 5K.
Yeah, so you got to remember though that we bat like above in like all the field events.
Yeah,
yeah. So there could be more field
relays.
Yeah.
Oh, the relays.
So,
walkers, we're really good at walking.
Yeah.
We get heaps of medals in walking too.
That adds an extra element when it comes to selection because you're comparing across events now for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where it makes sense. Like a Jess Hull 15 5K double. Like if you can get athletes doubling up, then you're saving yourself an athlete for the quota.
Yeah, I think Morgan, obviously, like on his YouTube, sort of has been saying that, sub 13's the goal. So I think he'd be a little bit disappointed with that, although it's still fairly early on in the actual season. 1,500, Vince Ciardi got the win there, 333.41, beat Nathan Green. 333.46. Jack Anstey was 11th in the A race in 335.86. In the B race, we had Alex Stitt. He was third, running 335.84. And Jesse Hunt ran 351. So I think Jesse's had like a high 340s, maybe like a low 340s, may have ducked under 340 once this season, but remember he was running 334.
Yeah, Bankstown.
Yeah.
Pushed the young king to the line, didn't he?
So, yeah. So, I'm not sure. Like, obviously, he got injured after that. But
he didn't fall over or something, did he? Did he get tripped and jog it in?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe.
There's no way a professional athlete's running 351 for 1,500 metres.
No, so I'm not sure what's going on there. In the steeple, we had Ed Trippas. He was 10th in 8:35. Race was won in 8:23. Men's 800. Brandon Miller ran 144.26, beat Abe Alvarado 144.59. Josh Kerr ran 144.6, which was a PB for him. And remembering he's 6 weeks away from trying to break the mile world record. Jake Whiteman was fourth, 144.74. And then in the B race, we had Peyton Craig. He got the win there in 144.66, which would have placed him fourth in the A race. So not a bad run there from Peyton.
Yeah. Bit unlucky not to get into the A race. Like he's an Olympic semi-finalist.
I think he will from now on. That's like, I agree. He was very rough not to get in there, but like that's someone who's come out with a chip on his shoulder. And
yes, his last 12 months probably hasn't been great though because he got injured and he's built back up, didn't he?
Yeah, and also the depth in men's 800 meter running. Like there are so many people now running like that 144.
Yeah, he'd be good with a chip on the shoulder after the national stuff up too.
Because like here were the other athletes in that A. So Bryce Hoppel, Donovan Brazier.
Yeah, right.
Hobbs Kessler. Isaiah Harris, and Festus Legat. So, quality athletes.
Yeah. Noosa Marathon Moose.
Yep, that's up there. I still think it's similar course, the lap course up there. Marathon, Alex Harvey won the men's 2:23:32, beat Jamie Lacey 2:27:40. In the ladies, Sophie Horton ran 2:55:27, and she beat Eleanor Goldrick 2:57. Half marathon was won by Tim Vincent, so he's popped up for a star-studded appearance. 65:20 beat Kieran Perkins, 67:48. Ali Tippins, 76:04, beat Lydia O'Donnell, 77:34. And then in the 10K, Josh Shanahan, he ran 30:48, beat Zach Miles Hawkins, 32, and Claire O'Brien, 36:19, beat Kira Seidel, 36:35.
Sophie's a listener to the podcast. Met her up at the Gold Coast. She good to get a marathon win.
Yes, very good. Got to find the right ones, mate.
Yeah. Have you ever won a marathon, Brady?
Nah,
me neither.
Do you know
second at Ballarat?
No, I might have to go and find a country marathon.
Geelong Marathon Festival.
Whew. Get there, Croaks.
Win the first one ever. You'll be able to list.
Shepparton even. Go to Shep.
Oh, what about that one I won in Bendigo?
O'Keefe Rail Trail Marathon.
Yeah, O'Keefe.
You've won a few. Couple of Great Ocean Roads.
Second at Santa Barbara. Nearly won that.
Yeah, that's the era we're in now, Croaks. What can you win in 2:25?
Especially because so Trav Haslam, our first ever guest on the show, or first ever interview we did, he often gives me shit because his PB is like 2:30 and 10 seconds or something. So I always give him a bit of grief about not breaking 2:30. And he's like, "How many marathons have you won?" Because he's won like 2 or 3 marathons, like Orange Marathon. So it'd be nice to go and win a marathon just to get that off my back.
Oh, road trip, boys, a boys trip. We could go do one. You two blokes can go head to head. I'll just come up the rear.
No, I need to dodge people so I can win.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going head to head.
Imagine how much better it would be beating the other one.
It's a big risk. You want to go somewhere where you've got it won in the first 5K.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. Don't have to worry about Croaks for the next 37K. Talking about marathons, Cape Town Marathon yesterday. I lit the fire yesterday, boys. This was a quick, hit this link on YouTube to watch it. Good commentary, good video footage. I'm interested in Cape Town because they want to be the next major. And my mate, Elliot, was there as well. So, I was tuning in. I get sucked in by anything Kipchoge related.
Yes, you.
It was good to turn it on. It was good to see Elliot on the stream. He went with him for the first 35 minutes, then he got dropped. Crowds didn't look. So I think if you run this one though, and it becomes a major next year, you qualify. Does that make sense? Like you get your star. So I just noticed way more people in my internet world were doing Cape Town.
Yeah, true.
Because of that reason.
I saw it too.
Yeah. As I said, the crowds didn't look really good on course. But I guess Sydney's didn't look really good until they became a major. So I've kind of seen that happen. So you can't judge them too harshly there. I did have a mate over there running it. He sent me a message. I just said, what was it like? And he documented this really good. He just said organisation 9 out of 10, course 6 out of 10, aid stations 10 out of 10, on course support / crowds 3 out of 10. So interesting.
Course 6 out of 10 though. Like guy won in 2:04. Like it mustn't be that slow.
This is what he said about that. Elevation profile map is misleading. Went in thinking 2 major climbs and the rest is reasonably flat, but in reality it had a lot of false flats, either up or down, so it made it more challenging to find a rhythm. At 30K, you run 1,200 metres uphill on cobblestones through some parkland. But yeah, Essa. So Essa's like the real deal. He comes second at Boston last year. He won it in 2:04.55, beaten Adani in 2:04.59. And then there was a third guy pretty close to him as well. So there was kind of 3 of them with a couple K to go. Strange that the pacemaker, there was 2 South African pacemakers. One of them ran London not so long ago. Is it Lipsnink? Something like that, I think his name is. But the other guy, Jacob Wildershant, he paced and was having the time of his life out there, waving at the crowd, smiling. And then at 25K, because suppose when the technical meeting the day before, he asked, can I continue on after the pacemaking job? And they're like, yeah, fine. So then at 25K, he just left the pack, just dropped everyone in the lead pack. And the commentators were getting really excited because he was on South African record pace. He looked amazing. I'm pretty sure he's the national record holder over there for a whole lot of shorter distances, but had never ran a marathon before.
Was this Adrian
Yeah.
Wildschut?
Yeah.
He's run 12:55 for 5K.
Yeah, real deal.
And 26:50 for 10K, 59:13 for the half marathon.
He was flying, dumped him. As I said, they're all getting excited on the stream. Like, this could be a 2:04 debut from this guy, and has runs on the board over the other distances. And then they pulled him in at about 35K. And then he pulled out at 35K in the end. But I thought it was a weird move to do that, because it was a real look at me kind of move. And then it's almost like he tried it to roll the dice. And then he's like, oh, marathons are hard at 35K. I'm going to now step off when they went past him. But he looked invincible from 28 to 35K. And the guys he was dumping were, really good runners. So
what sort of lead did he have?
Oh, I reckon 15 to 20 seconds.
Okay, so yeah.
Like, he was in sight, but there was a stage there where the car was like in between him and the lead pack. So, yeah, he got away, but these guys, pulled him in.
Well, he got away because they let him.
Well, it was a probably unsustainable move too.
That's right. They read that perfectly, didn't they?
Which he didn't know because he'd never ran a marathon before. Yeah. But it was kind of exciting. I'm like, oh, the pace is going to run away with it here. And even the commentators were saying, oh, he doesn't have drinks after 30K, and it'd be like us seeing, say we've got a whole lot of Africans over at Melbourne Marathon, and then we've got, I don't know, Stewie's job's to pace it, and then he sturges away from it at 25K and is out in front for 7 or 8K.
That would be
exciting. Get pretty excited.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It was good until it wasn't good for that guy. And then Kipchoge did come in 16th in 2:13.29. Looked like a lonely race out there for him after he got dropped. All the photos and stuff I saw today, he was in no man's land. And did go with them for the first 12K, but I don't think they went that quick that early. And then I think they maybe picked it up. So, I'm just looking at the full results now to see if he had people around him.
What are your thoughts on? So I remember when we spoke about Kipchoge being announced for Melbourne, and you're like, oh, this doesn't really excite me that much. And all I've seen about Cape Town for the last few days is Kipchoge. That's all I've seen. And I feel like it's a bit disrespectful for, as you said, Brady, this bloke's the real deal. Finished second at Boston, yet all of the attention is on Kipchoge, who's done, and he's running 2:13. He didn't even win his age group. Celebrate the athletes that are actually running 2:04. He's been a great athlete. I know.
The role is to promote the event. And Essa, you didn't know he won Boston until I told you 5 minutes ago.
But they're making the event about Kipchoge, not the actual people that are winning.
Yeah, but Essa's not getting people on the street. Kipchoge is. Same thing is going to happen at Melbourne Marathon.
You said there's no one on the street.
Well, the people that were on the street were there to see Kipchoge, not Mohammed Essa.
Yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Moose?
Well, I understand the racer's perspective on it. I also understand the media's perspective on it, because no one in Australia is writing a story on Mohammed Essa coming first at Cape Town Marathon. But if we see some footage of Kipchoge, it is a sign that he is the absolute GOAT in our sport, that we're talking about him doing what he's doing right now. coming 16th in a race and he steals the show. Like this, it's a sign of his popularity in the world. And so it's hard to get upset with that. Because we ain't talking about, like, Cape Town Marathon's not popping up for you at all, Brady or Croaks. Like, if he's not there.
Yeah, like Cape Town wouldn't have got in the... Yeah, we wouldn't have been chatting about it tonight if Kipchoge wasn't running, I don't reckon.
S has come second at Chicago and second at Tokyo as well. Like, that's crazy that we're not talking... Like, I didn't really... I'm just flicking through his profile now. Like, he's come top 2 in 3 of the World Marathon majors and is still a quite unrecognisable name.
That's the
for
problem.
people like
that's
us.
That's the problem with the sport. We just don't know their backstories. And so because you don't know their backstories, you know nothing about them, it's very hard to engage. And
so with the Kipchoge engagement, does that come as an expense of this? Like, is it one or the other?
Yeah, I don't know.
What about Dara Dida Yami? Where'd she come from? Do we know about her?
Ethiopia. It was in Ethiopia 1, 2, 3 in the women's race. She ran 2:23.18.
What's her previous PB? I'll just have a look now.
Fakir ran 2:23.46 to be second. They were a bit slow early too, and then they cranked it down in the second half.
Do they at Cape Town? Do they go off by themselves, or is that a run with the males as well, or in the mass field?
No, it was run with the males. Yep, they all went off at the same time.
So she's a 2:18. She's a 2:18 runner.
They had male pacemakers.
Oh, did they? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Now that Kipchoge's run 2:13, does he run faster or slower than this time in Melbourne?
Slower.
He's doing one in between too, isn't he? Isn't he doing one in like Portugal?
Much slower, because this was essentially a major now. And the field that he had out there to drag him along, or to at least provide like some sort of incentive to go faster, like huge. Whereas you come to Melbourne and you're not going to have guys that are running 2:4. Like Melbourne doesn't chase that type of athlete. So surely
there'll still be someone around that 2:13. This is him coming to Melbourne.
Still win it.
Him coming to Melbourne's like Brady or myself going to Orange. Easy win.
That's not fair on Melbourne. No, that's.
Do you know?
Well, Moose is just saying there's no one to push him in Melbourne.
Fun fact here, just before, was it Rod McKinnon, marathoner? He was the first Australian under 220 comes from Orange.
There you go.
How about that? Kate Smythe from Orange.
Yeah.
It's at altitude there too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's about 1,000 meters.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, he's racing again on July 12th. Porto Alegre. He hasn't got July 12th. What's that? 6 weeks? 7 weeks?
So that's his European stop. Portugal.
Yeah. Is that where that place is?
Big Nike race, is it?
Oh, nah. South America.
Oh.
Porto Alegre.
Okay. Yeah. It's a bit weird that would be his Europe. Why did you call it Portugal then?
I didn't know. I thought it was Porto. Isn't there a place in Porto called in Portugal?
I don't know.
Is it Brazil?
Ah, Brazil. There you go.
So this would be a South American one.
There is a city in Portugal called Porto.
Yeah, so that's pretty close, Moose. Porto and Porto Alegre.
True.
Hey, sorry, what are you going to say, Moose?
Capital of the churrasco barbecue that they're famous for.
Oh, there we go. So he'll do Australia, then he'll do Antarctica, then he's still got to do one in Europe, America.
Do you boys want a Jayla Hancock Cameron update?
We have to.
Yeah, I'd love one.
All right.
As long as it's worthy.
Well, she competed in Brussels on the weekend. She ran the 800 on the first day of the meet, finished sixth in 2 flat 0.56, which was 0.4 or something off her PB. And then she backed up the next day to win the 1500 metres in 4:06, which was a PB for her. Not a bad weekend of racing.
That's absolutely worth it.
Nice weekend from Jayla. And Moose finishes off with some road racing in Berlin news.
Yes. So one Australian I saw here, Jimmy Whelan, who, if you don't mind, boys, did you see the Instagram he put up with the singlet up around his neck, just showing off one of the most sort of manicured rigs you'll ever see?
Yeah, real beautiful man.
Thirst trap type material. Very good from him. He knows where the fans, what they want to see. But he went to Berlin to run a 5K. So you would say maybe Jimmy's stepping down in distance here. He comes 6th in 13:47. And what I've got here is a bit of news about his marathon debut, Melbourne.
Yeah.
Is that confirmed, is it?
No, well, he's put the feelers out, I think. He was on Elise's podcast and he kind of said he's real keen to run Melbourne Marathon.
Who's
They haven't been in touch yet. They haven't been in touch. He hasn't been in touch, but he really wants to do it.
Elise, did you say?
Yeah, Elise Beacom.
Oh, I thought you said Elise's podcast.
Elisa DeCisa.
Yeah. Elise.
He's also started a podcast.
Has he?
So Crooks, I thought you were the Jimmy Wheeler man. How's Elise getting these exclusives and you didn't get a DM saying, hey, here's one for you?
Don't know. I thought he'd be after a super quick one for the debut to try and run that Aussie record on debut.
He's got to get
25K.
He ain't getting a slab off me there.
Put Kipchoge in a hole. Take on Jack. It's a good idea.
You could load up the paces there. Get a team around him. Take him through to 30K.
Yeah.
Faster course there now. Boys, faster course.
Faster course.
No tan, no shrine, no art centre. You are just zipping it back to the G.
It'd be under 100 metres, wouldn't it? For sure.
I'm not.
I think Ballarat's 98 metres and you got to go up that hill twice.
That's true. You've got to ask about that. I'll ask Kingy about that. See what they got on it.
It's literally like Fitzroy Street and the hill at the start line.
Yeah, but there's all little... it's all little bits and pieces along the way, you know.
Yeah.
You go up a metre here, 5 metres.
Even St Kilda Road's like a bit of a false flat coming back, isn't it? I reckon it feels gradual uphill.
These aren't hills.
No, they're not.
They're not. Thanks. Yeah, get a number for me for next week, Moose. I'd be interested in that.
I could have it by the end of the day. Although
here we go. It's working. Thank you to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Chances are you're gearing up for a race yourself, but how dialed in is your race nutrition? Precision Fuel and Hydration makes it simple with a free online planner. Visit precisionhydration.com and get your numbers today. Listen in for an exclusive code to get 15% off your order too, a bit later in the show. Whispers, boys, we're starting to get Sydney Marathon leaks. Couple of I'm listening to podcasts, I'm hearing people saying, hey, we've got a marathon in X amount of weeks. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what race they're doing. Heard some names. A nice, exciting debut on the men's side. I was pretty interested in hearing that name.
That was on a podcast?
That one wasn't on a podcast. That was just in my inbox. Just yeah.
Is this a real whisper? So you're going to say the names? Because that's a proper whisper.
Because I respect the race, but how big of a... Do we just leak stuff if you're not the headliner? That's what I'm starting to think.
We do, or the race does?
How sensitive do you need to be for people?
Yeah.
Jimmy said this in his interview as well. He's like, why do people get cagey about telling people what races they're doing? And I think a lot of the time it is because they're worried that they're going to step on the race's toes. But then half the time the race don't give a shit and they don't care about the person ranked 35th.
Yeah, well, there's some of the names I've heard. You're not going to have a press release about that.
Especially with the international field they'll bring in.
Yeah, there's not going to be
intriguing for Australians.
An announcement. I mean, it's nice to know early. It also doesn't really matter when we find out. It's just nice to know, I guess.
Just good to know, isn't it?
Yeah,
just
I like knowing stuff.
So yeah, just keep a watch on the pipes. Stuff's going to start coming out soon. Moose on the loose. What do you got?
A couple of quick ones tonight because I'm starting to get really tired. Saw a quick thing actually on Instagram, just on that Devil app that we use, the app of the Evil Empire app. Bloke from Malaysia, sponsored by Puma, did a race over there. Can't remember which race it was, but the race is sponsored by X-Step, a brand. It's like a Chinese company. And then all of a sudden, this bloke sees himself in a video or a picture that the race puts out after the event's held. And they've gone in and changed the Puma logo to an X-Step logo on his shirt just for promotional purposes for the race. Oh, that is not on. That is just some of the worst behavior from an event you'll ever see. And I'm not sure whether the pressure was there from the event, from the brand to make sure that like every athlete looked like they were wearing X-Step, but horrendous precedent to start there.
Didn't that happen in like an Australian? Like, was it Melbourne Marathon?
It was Melbourne.
They didn't change the logo. They just got rid of the logo.
Took it off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a bit of.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's not okay. Like,
why not?
Do you know why?
It's their race. It's their social
because
media.
The people that those
wave at a race.
Those athletes, those athletes in that race get supported by that brand, and the benefit to the brand is them being in pictures wearing that brand, representing that company. So if they can't represent the brand, then they're no value to the company.
Yeah, so I agree. I don't think you should be changing photos to keep sponsors happy.
Yeah. If you want to see the winner in an Asics top or a Nike top, then bring in your best Nike or Asics athletes. That's
legally though. When you sign up for a race and sign the waiver, you probably give the race permission to do that.
Oh, I bet there's difference with the elites. Like your agent should be negotiating contracts around that, where it's like you're there as a Nike athlete or an Asics athlete or whatever it is. Like this guy is on a Puma contract. Puma pay him. He goes to this race and they're changing him into an X-Step athlete. No, that's not cool.
Not cool at all. He made a good video calling it out, so their publicity.
Did you see that? Did you see it too? Did you?
Yeah, I saw it.
Mate, we're all on the same algorithm. That's for sure.
Same stuff. Scott Pendlebury and X-Step stuff. That's all I'm
seeing Scott Pendlebury. That's for sure.
I'll send you a few things then. I'll flick a few through to you.
I want to see some Nick Dacos flops. Send me those videos.
No, I saw that hit he got. That was a big hit.
That was not a big hit.
Right near that.
He has jumped before.
Trust me, I was there. Trust me.
He's like the shy Gillis Alexander of the footy world.
We're actually talking about Nick Dacos on Wednesday, Croaks. One of the questions was Nick Dacos related.
I saw that. I'll go and make myself a cup of tea.
Go mow the lawns,
that one.
Come back in 15 minutes and I'll
fill that one. I thought you could get suspended for doing the stuff he does.
Move on. This is a running podcast.
All right. The other thing I had was also watched a reel down at the Great Ocean Road, sponsored by Audible. The race was sponsored by Audible, which is the app where you download audiobooks. And there was a lady that went out and did the race, and she made a reel about how amazing it was that she could listen to an audiobook novel during the race. And I'm like, and some of the words she was using was like, I was so locked into the audiobook, it just helped me forget about how hard the race was. Like, how can you concentrate, listen to a novel when you're in the middle of a race? I get music and sort of sit in the background, maybe do a bit here and there, but listening to a novel, like, are we using running for everything now? Yeah.
There's like information text as well. Let Them by Mel Robbins. That's the book she was talking about.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's a big movement in the educational system.
Oh, so it's not a novel?
No, it's like like self-help. It's about just letting your kids do what I actually haven't read it, but it's called Let Them. So I assume it's like pick your battles, we always use the meme at school. Like if the kid's about to throw a chair, it's just like, what would Mel Robbins say? Just let them. let them through the chair.
All right.
At the 8K mark of a 10K, you're already in enough pain. If I had an audio book in my ears with 2K to go, it would make the pain even worse. I'd like to get this shit out of my ears.
It's been a weird collab because I know like Jess Stenson did some stuff and Andy and Jen Gregson, like they've done stuff with, they've been doing stuff with Audible as well, talking about the audiobooks that they've been listening to.
See, I could get it behind going out for a jog, listening to an audiobook. Like I think
Andy was listening to the same audiobook.
Oh, really?
He was on the Let Them as well.
Well, race situation, no. That's so performative running, boys. I think that's the concept we talked about last week with the circle pit or the pit circle, whatever it is. Performative running. I saw another one yesterday. Bunch of people in Shibuya, like super busy area of Japan, Tokyo, at night, all dressed up running with sunglasses on, like the cool kind of new shades that people wear. And they were trying to run through the like circle. And all they did was jog around Shibuya and get photos taken of themselves. That's performative running. That's not running.
Was it a photo shoot?
No, not really. Like that's just, and they put up like went for a run, Shibuya, the heart of running, like the energy, rah, rah, rah. You're like, this is a fucking terrible place to run. Like no one's.
So I did this with Lululemon. So when the intersection lights go and you can go in every direction, did they go in and do a big circle before it stopped?
It wasn't a video, it was photos.
Oh, yeah. See, we just went straight across with the film crew running next to us.
Yeah, that's lame as fuck.
This is me.
That is lame as fuck from you.
It's good photos, though, from it.
Yeah, but and so people jumping on running to try to increase their, like they're using it to become trendy or popular, which is just absolutely insane if you've grown up as a runner. That's where we're at with the sport. But good, like we're in a place where we're cool, fellas, because we're runners. Although somehow I don't feel cool, and I certainly don't look at you boys as being cool. Not from running.
I'm with you. Listener question, Croaks.
All right. This episode's listener question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. And boys, it's a long one. I reckon this is the longest question.
You can summarise. I just copy and paste it straight from
I'll read
the
it.
website.
It's a good one. Hi, fellas. Big fan of the pod. I wanted to throw a question your way that I think could make for some interesting discussion on the weekly listener question segment. From time to time, I hear guys, mostly Brady, talk about being somewhat disadvantaged living up in northern Victoria in a border town far away from major races and the city running scene. I've also heard mentions of how flat and quiet it is and how there still aren't that many runners around even after the recent running boom. But honestly, I'd argue that you're actually in a far better position to become a successful runner compared to someone training in the city. Living in Melbourne, it feels like every run is an obstacle course. You're constantly dodging traffic, waiting at crossings, weaving through packed footpaths and dealing with running groups taking up entire shared paths. Then there's the junkies, dogs on and off leash, e-bikes, scooters, people with no lights in the dark. The list goes on. One positive, I suppose, is easier access to drink fountains and shared paths. Whereas in regional areas, you can step out the door and within minutes be on open roads with minimal interruptions. Sure, you don't have easy access to the big races every weekend, but realistically, how often do you actually need that? Even Andy in Bendigo often talks about how having a good small crew and a simpler lifestyle has contributed massively to his running success. Would love to hear your thoughts on whether regional running might actually be an advantage rather than a disadvantage. Cheers, Brody.
That was a long question for what was essentially a short question, Croaks.
Yes.
Yeah. Is I like it better to train in the country or the city, boys? We got junkies in the country as well.
Yeah. Not down here. Ballarat.
Not as many.
Yes. Ballarat, Bendigo, Echuca, Moama. Junkies. Or Shepparton, I heard, was ice capital.
We don't have to talk about where most of the junkies are.
All right.
I made a list, though, coming from this question, and it was like a list of like the 5 most important things if you could pick a dream location to run in. And Croaks, I reckon you've got most of these ones. So first thing I put on my list, training partners. Training partners are important. Good culture, people to train with. As I said, my long run, got out of the car, 2 hours was done. Second one, I put like terrain. And then that's, you know, things like he spoke about, easy access to trails, flat roads to do workouts, hills to get some hilly loops in, stuff that's going to stimulate the body that way. 3, I put down this is for more probably a bit of high performance stuff, but access to an athletics track. So somewhere you can go, you can rip workouts. Talking about Shepparton, I know they have real big problems trying to get on their athletics track over there. So like some of these towns, they've got them, but you can't get on them. But I reckon that's pretty important. And the 4th thing I kind of put down too was access to races. So because it's a challenge if you got to, Croaks might have to jump on a flight. Doesn't have a lot in Canberra. So that will drive to Sydney, or I might have to go to Melbourne or things like that as well. Usually that's also where you got to drive to get on an aeroplane to go to an interstate race. And then another thing I thought maybe for the blue collar people out there, a place where you can train when it's dark. So like, is the tan lit up year round? Can you do workouts there?
Yeah.
And a place where you can do workouts, I suppose, quicker than jogging, and you can see the ground. I thought they were like 5 things that are pretty important. And I'm sorry, Brody, if I come across as whinging about it, but because I love where I live, but I don't have the training partners, I don't have the hills, I don't have track access, and it takes me 3 hours to get to a race. So, but I love where I live, but I can run out my front yard and be in the bush in 2.5 minutes, and I do my workouts in the middle of a road and have no elevation.
That's
just when it's dark. It's
for
not
me.
lit up.
What you just said there, like the key to like a really, like for me, a priority is not having to get in a car to go somewhere to run. So
to do all that,
running out your front door is such a good thing for a runner, to be able to get out onto tracks immediately. I guess it's different. Like if you're an elite athlete, it's different to an athlete like us for training environments, because like an elite athlete needs the track. They need recovery facilities. They need access to their physio, their massage, their training partners.
Gym.
Yeah, that's it. So, but
I should have actually led with that. The most important thing is that you're actually happy with where you live. So like you could have all those 5 things and be unhappy and not with your family or your friends, all those kind of things, and it's not going to matter. So, it's a good question. That's why I think like Bendigo, like he said, Andy's got some good training partners, awesome hills. He can be in the bush in like 5 minutes from his house. Yeah. He's got track. He literally lives on this. I won't say where he lives, but he lives very close to the track. And then he can be in Melbourne in an hour and a half instead of 3 hours as well. So when you say regional, it also depends what kind of regional.
That's right. Surf Coast different to Moama. Like you're way out there. You got no hills. You got no mates out there. Like it's not like you're in a shit spot, basically.
I've got Archie's Old Man. Beautiful spot, but not great for running.
Yeah. So, but then Bendigo,
good
Ballarat,
for fast running.
Surf Coast, Dandenong areas. Then you got Bright, awesome spot to run. Going down too far west, you get in trouble, I think, of getting into the events over 3 hours. I think the limit's about 90 minutes away from the big city. How about we put that?
Yeah, that's one classification as regional, where you can probably do most of those things he spoke about. Yeah. Without having challenges.
Well, what was the fella's name in the book? Once a Runner? Cassidy?
Quentin Cassidy?
Quentin Cassidy.
Was it Quentin Cassidy?
Gets out in the shed, no distractions whatsoever. Bloke gets up, runs, comes home, goes crazy from not having any distractions. That's how you win Olympic medals.
That was wasn't that also fiction?
Fiction.
Yeah.
So when I was living in Sydney, I was predominantly training for like middle distance races. So volume wasn't high. It was okay, running around Centennial Park or the Bay Run because you weren't doing a massive amount of miles. But I reckon had I stayed in Sydney, there's no way I would have become a marathoner, because I don't think I could have been bothered running 160K around the same old crowded loops. Whereas here in Canberra, one, you've got so much variety, but I just don't get sick of running out in the bush. Like I occasionally go down to Yerrabee Pond, which it's still a relatively nice location, but it's all bike path. And people that are living in the cities, like they're running on that stuff every single day. I wouldn't run as much as I do if that's all I had. So Canberra's great. The only downside is there's not that many races here, and it's at least 3 hours to a race.
So where's the best? You got a camp. You're in charge, boys. Athletics Australia. They're giving you the budget. You want it. Let's just talk about marathoners because that's what we do. All the marathoners are going to move to the one town. You're going to rent a house. You're going to pay for them. Where do you want them?
Oh, Surf Coast for me.
No, Surf Coast. Where do you guys do a flat workout?
Oh, Torquay. We got
around that Sands place.
We got Chanel. We got Paraparat where there's
I suppose
cycling course. I mean, we're
Isn't it always windy down there?
Not more than who cares? True. People get tough from that. 20 minutes. Talk about wind. Ballarat's windy. But
it hasn't got a history of good runners coming out of there other than you and Ali, does it?
Me and Ali and Lee Troop just down the road in Geelong. Geelong's got a Christian. Lot. No, he's from Ocean Grove.
It's all the same down there.
I think the Surf Coast, I reckon I spoke to Nick Bedeau once, and he said, he's got a house on the Surf Coast, and he said, it's an absolute runner's paradise down here. And I reckon that if the social element, when people grow up in Melbourne, it's hard to leave because you've got this attachment to the city. But if you've got a regional person, say like Andy, that grows up in a regional area, they don't feel the need to go to the city or live in the city. But yeah, down the coast, if you don't have that desire to live in a city environment, paradise for running. 20 minutes to a track in Geelong, all the what do you call it? Allied health you need floating around. You got dirt for miles, kilometers. I mean, you've got work if you want. You got some side work down here. This would be the spot. This would
very
be
similar to Bendigo.
Yeah, probably. I haven't spent enough time in Bendigo.
Yeah, and then Canberra's good as well, Crooks.
Yeah, the only thing Canberra lacks is access to races.
Yeah.
No, but you're pretty close to Sydney.
Yeah, it's 3 hours.
Yeah, Canberra's got a great climate too. For the summer, it's pretty cool in the morning still.
And it's a dry heat. So even when you're out in if you're going out for a jog at 5 in the afternoon, 6 in the afternoon, it's more like an oven. It's not like North Queensland where it's just breathing through a straw and high humidity.
Yeah, the climate really works for Canberra. Canberra would be up there for me as well. Brilliant running in a lot of areas of the city and great groups up there.
Well, it worked for Deke.
Enough stuff happening. There'd be people, you could go see a gig during the week or something, couldn't you, Croaks? It's not like you're at Falls Creek and you're bored.
No, and you're also, fairly close to the coast here, 2 hours, you're down at the coast.
Yeah. Yeah. Good chat, boys. Thanks, Brody, for that question. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com. Use the code IRP2026 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up? Rabat Diamond League. Sarah Billings is in the 800 metres there. That the only Aussie, Croaks?
Yeah. So there's a men's 15, but there's no Aussies. There's a men's steeple. Geordie Beamish is in that one, but it's not Aussie.
So Billings would be a good chance to get in the 800 metre team, won't she?
Well, especially if Abbey was to go to choose the mile.
Yeah. What's Georgia Griffiths doing? She could be. We could have 6 Australian ladies running under 4 minutes if she was in there too. Don't know.
I'd hate to be a selector for this team.
Need the press conference. Need the Thursday presser. Launceston Running Festival, is that this weekend?
It is.
Big names going around down there on Sunday as well. The half marathon's fairly loaded, isn't it? I'm talking about that on Road to Somewhere. Izzy, Sinead, Jen, I think.
Is that this weekend? Is that? Yeah, I think it could be.
Yeah. So there you go. Something to talk about next week, boys. What do you got coming up between now and next week, Croaks?
Not too much, actually. Just a bit of training. Get on top of this Achilles.
Man, imagine that. Just having some training.
So good, isn't it?
It's good, isn't it? Hey? Best training location. If you live in the best training location, why not go out and train?
Yeah, I love that. Moose, what are you doing?
I just looked at so it was Bree's birthday the other week, and I booked her a trip away, and now I'm starting to really regret that because me and the boys for a full 48 hours.
Oh, it's not a family trip away.
No. She takes Pia though. It's a girls' trip. Do you know how hard this is going to be? I am. Oh,
nah, she deserves it.
I know she does, and
that's why you bought it.
She's a way better parent than I am. She's the one who comes in and settles the spot fires and sorts out all the drama and knows the tricks. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I'm not more nervous for this than anything I've ever done before in my life.
You know what you need it. You need to turn off your other work.
Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I've got to just lock in on that, don't I?
You're like, I don't want to hear any other work stuff because I've got to focus my energy on these kids. There's nothing worse when you're trying to parent and then you're also trying to work. You got to work or parent.
Set up an auto reply on my email and my texts. Yep. See you in 48 hours. Me. I am right now. We're on the front line.
Yeah.
Phones don't work on the front line.
Yeah.
I just hope they get
SOS
better.
Calls only.
They better get better between now and then. Otherwise, I am cooked.
Where'd you buy the trip to?
Just Crown, Melbourne.
Oh, nice.
How many people are you going to have over to help you throughout the weekend?
Well,
Bruce?
This is the thing. My mum and sister have gone away.
You want to come over for a visit?
Mum and sister are away. Who else have I got? Think about calling Allie. Hey, Allie. You know, Pia's not here, so you can't bring your friend. Who else have I got to call? I got no one.
Good luck.
Nah, this is going to
mess with that.
This is going to be metal behaviour. Basically, doing what my wife does every day, but I'm just going to do it for one weekend.
Trying to lock in for 48 hours.
I've got a lot of respect for her already. But
what are you doing, Brady?
What am I doing? We've got every year they do this run from Barmer Pub to Chuka or to Moama Pub. That's on Sunday. That's called Pub to Pub. It's about 24K through the forest. I was going to run cross country this weekend. Andy was on my case about running round 3 of XCR, but we've got a going away party for one of the guys at work. So I'm doing that. That's it.
How far is Barmer? Barmer away?
About 24K.
Who does this?
It's just a local, the run crew in town. Once a year, they just organise it. It's not a race or anything. It's just hey, on this weekend, we're going to run from the Barmer Pub to the Border Inn Pub. So I've done that.
Crew. You got a run crew in town?
Yeah, we got a run crew. Yep, Chukamoama Run Club.
No, they're a run club or a run crew?
A run club.
You pumped them up with the run crew there. You've looked after them there. All of a sudden, I was have a totally different picture in my mind.
Nah, there's some honest workers. They meet at 5:30 or 6, do a workout every Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know.
No, that's a run club for sure. That's a run club.
Yeah, run club. Yeah, workouts. Yeah. Just blue collar, getting stuff done before they go. So yeah, I'll do that, Croaks. We should be good. All right, boys. I'll talk to you again Wednesday, Croaks, and then we'll do it all again next week.
Sounds good.
See you later.
See you guys.
Bye. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration for sponsoring this episode. Precision Fuel and Hydration is the answer to fuel your next marathon. Their free online planner helps you nail your sodium and carb intake so you don't fade when it matters most. Visit precisionhydration.com, and while you're there, place your first order and get 15% off when you use the code IRP2026.